Alright, we're doing Nintendo consoles and handhelds, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the universe. Alright. Oh boy, this could be spicy. As your local Nintendo freak, how do we feel? Alright, so... Oh boy. God, there's a lot to think about here. Well, I mean, they put the Virtual Boy on here, so, and I'm not gonna lie, I've never actually played a Virtual Boy, so I don't, I mean, I know that it's terrible, but I don't think I have a proper opinion. So I don't think it's fair that I haven't played it before, so I'm just gonna leave it there. Alright. Oh boy. Oh god, what do we do? This is hard. This is already hard. This is a tough one. So, oh god, I don't even know what to put in S tier. I don't even know what to put in S tier. I think, God. Okay, this might be a spicy one. I think Switch is S tier. I think Switch is S tier. This has been I don't know, I think this has been the best video game generation ever. Duh. Well, just because, I don't know, I think some people probably consider the classic ones to be better than the Switch, but I feel like we have been absolutely spoiled with so much goodness during the Switch. In terms of I think the console itself works. It works really well. The whole home console portable hybrid works really well. We've gotten so many gosh darn games, so many games where it's there's so much to play on the Switch. Freaking two mainline Legend of Zelda games, open world Zelda games. We just so much stuff. We even got Metroid games on the Switch. So it's pretty. I think Nintendo did really good with the Switch the past 7 years. Wii and Switch top tier. Oh boy, this is where things are gonna get tough. I think. Okay. The thing is, I don't think I could put any of these in D tier. Maybe the Game Boy, I don't know. But even then, I don't know, the Game Boy could even be C tier. I'm gonna put Game Boy in D tier, just because I feel like something has to be here, and the Game Boy, it's hard because, it was obviously technology was still early at the time, they had to work with what they had, but with Game Boy it was the green diarrhea green screen. The no light on it, and Game Boy Color was honestly a lot of the same, but I mean, it's better than Game Boy, obviously. All right, but yeah, I think we'll put that there. Now that might be a spicy take. You don't think the Wii is top? Yeah, the Game Boy was a sign of the time, but yeah, I don't know. They at the time there was also the Sega. Freaking, what was the Sega handheld one? God dang it! What was the Sega handheld? Sega handheld. I should know this. Game Gear. There's the Game Gear. Yeah, Game Gear. And that had a lit screen. It was it was technically way better than the Game Boy, but it was more expensive. And so I feel Nintendo did the bare minimum so that they could keep the Game Boy cheap. So it meant that the quality of the Game Boy was really just piss poor, but the price was better. So anyway, I'm gonna put that D tier. And then, oh yeah, so is the Wii top tier? Oh god. Here is the hot take. I think Wii is... To be fair, like I wasn't really... I wasn't even like... I wasn't in my gamer era during the Wii. Like I don't know. I think Wii is A tier. Maybe in B tier, not gonna lie. Oof. A or B. I'll put Wii goes in A tier. Bad. So here's the thing about the Wii. The Wii was really cool when it came out because of the whole motion control. You know, obviously we all freaking played tennis, we all played bowling. But as time went on, you could kind of tell that the motion control was kind of annoying at a certain point. And actually, it works out perfect because I have it right here. And they tried to make up for the Wii with the motion control by having like actual controllers. But it was the annoying thing where you had this controller, like a regular plain old controller, but it plugged into the Wii like this. Like, and it was just like this weird thing where you have a cable and a controller and a Wii remote. Like, and then the controller, it didn't have vibration or anything. It's kind of a weird controller, but it works. But yeah, so I feel like Wii was really for like the motion control people. And I feel like a lot of people bought a Wii for Wii Sports. They played bowling and tennis, and then they never touched it again. Like, I mean, and that's kind of like that's a generalization. You know, people obviously played the Wii, but I feel like, I mean, definitely like in my family, I think about like my uncle or like my grandma buying a Wii because they think they'll get like and yeah, like Wii Fit, like people thinking they could get fit, and then you just see like a Wii just sitting in the bottom of their entertainment center, or like the Wii Fit board in the closet or something. Like there was a lot of that, and then yeah, so it felt like they did motion control, and it was really cool for like non-video game people, like people who don't care about video games, like, you know, on freaking like Good Morning America or something. It's like, hey Todd, check out this new fangled Nintendo with and you can play tennis, and then people were throwing the freaking Wii remotes in the TV. Like there was a lot of that. So then it made it so that when there was actual games that came out, like, you know, games that we care about, like freaking, you know, Mario or something. When there's like Mario or something, like it still had to use the motion control, so it was kind of like gimped in that way. So anyway, sorry. It's still A tier though. I still think the Wii was good, and we got so many good games on the Wii. But yeah, I don't think it would be like S tier good, but definitely A tier good. Yeah, okay. That's my personal reasoning. What I will say, GameCube, A tier. Above the Wii. No, well, okay, wait. Let's rethink this. Let's think this through. The GameCube it didn't sell well. It's the second worst selling Nintendo console, right after the Wii U. There weren't a lot of mature games for it. There was a lot of freaking like movie games like Lego Star Wars or Shrek or Cars the video game on GameCube, but there wasn't like Call of Duty or anything. So there wasn't a lot of variety on GameCube, but Nintendo made some bomb ass games for the GameCube, and excuse my language, but there were some there were like so many good games for the GameCube. Luigi's Mansion, um, Mario Sunshine is debatable if it's good, but friggin' Smash Melee, Monkey Ball, yeah, that's true. All the Mario sports games, Mario Strikers, like although nobody cared about the GameCube, Nintendo made some really good games for the GameCube, so I think that made up for it. Um, yeah, yeah, all the Mario parties. They made what was on there? 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 Mario Party games on the GameCube. So they definitely made a lot of games for the GameCube. Um, I think. Oh god, this is gonna require some thinking. Is the DS or the 3DS better? The DS had. What did the DS have? I. Hmm. That's hard. Is the 3DS better than the. I think the. I would say the 3DS was better than the DS. I'm gonna put that like that. GBA, honestly, C tier, I think. Just because I feel like GBA still felt like it didn't really feel like that much of an upgrade from the Game Boy Color. And then I feel, I don't know, maybe I'm forgetting, but I feel like we didn't get too many like awesome, crazy games for the Game Boy Advance. We got a lot of good games for the Game Boy Advance, but I don't think anything that was like super crazy. I don't know. And then also I think N64, kind of same deal. Um NES, I don't know. I feel like it's hard for me to talk about like the older ones because obviously I wasn't even born when the NES came out. So like I feel like I don't know. NES, it's like you have to respect it because it's where it got started. Yeah, it's hard to like rank these ones. I don't know if like I don't know. That's just my gut feeling right now. SNES in B tier and NES bottom of C tier. Wii U. I think Wii U should go Wii U B tier. The Wii U, as much as we all crap on the Wii U because how just sad it was, I think the fact that the Wii U was so sad and nobody cared about it, it meant that it made everyone closer because we all had this thing that everybody hated, but we kind of forced ourselves to like. Who's crapping on it? I loved it. Yeah, like even Nintendo will say that the Wii U was a failure. I think there's a lot of stuff to like dislike about the Wii U, but yeah, I think in general it was pretty good. Um yeah. And like yeah, there's a really die-hard Wii U community, like or Wii U fandom. Um I don't know. There was a point in time when I had a Wii U, I was honestly kind of sad that I had a Wii U. I'm not gonna lie. Like 2015, 2016, when there was like freaking, you know, Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival on the Wii U, that was when I was like, oh no, what am I gonna play? Like, yeah, like basically the time waiting from the Wii U to the Switch, that was kind of a sad time. And then, like, yeah, I feel like Like, yeah, like, 3D World, Super Mario 3D World, super duper awesome game, love it. But it's not the classic 3D Mario like Mario 64 Sunshine or Galaxy even. Like Mario 3D World was a continuation of Mario 3D Land, so we never got like basically a Mario Odyssey for the Wii U. But now that we have a Mario Odyssey, I think 3D World it's good that it exists. But yeah. But yeah, like having the freaking like the gamepad and like the battery was always no matter when you picked up the freaking Wii U gamepad, the battery was just always dead. The glossy the glossy finish always it got so scratched and just having that screen, it was cool sometimes, but a lot of times it was just like, why do I have this screen? I don't know. But I still loved my Wii U. Don't get me wrong. I loved my Wii U. I was I was a day one Wii U fanboy, but like looking back at it now, like yeah, it wasn't it wasn't the greatest. And like yeah, eventually we just didn't have any games on the Wii U. Um doesn't sound like it. Trust me, I love it. I was there day one. I like literally I like the first time there was the first time like they showed off the Wii U, like they announced it, I watched that trailer on repeat pretty much like every day for like a year. I was so excited for the Wii U, and like all like literally like at in middle school, all my friends were trying to talk about like how crappy the Wii U was and that the Xbox was better, and I was the one kid, I was that one freak on the playground standing up to the kids saying that the Wii U was good. Like I loved it, but like looking back at it now, I could see the flaws. Um, yeah, but yeah, um, and then yeah, I didn't like. I would say 3DS is better than the DS because I feel like um, on the DS, Nintendo was doing a lot of like gimmicky games. Like, remember, like all those Kirby games where you would use the touchscreen? Like, they were still trying to do that whole thing with the touchscreen and stuff. So it felt kind of like there were a lot of like kind of mediocre games. I feel like with the 3DS, they kind of perfected it. I don't know. Didn't play on the DS? Yeah. It's nostalgic for me because that, I feel like that's when I started. Well, I don't know. That's when I like, it was definitely when I played games with my family more. Like whenever we went on family trips, all of my cousin, and by all of my cousins I mean two, my two cousins would bring their DSs, and then me and my two older brothers would all bring our DSs. We would connect in PictoChat and like send whatever messages and like on the airplane, and we would play Mario Kart. Like good time. I've had really good times on the DS, but I feel like the 3DS was probably better. 2012 was 12 years ago. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, I'm so old. Nah, yeah. I remember like when the Wii U came out, the day that the Wii U came out, like dragging my mom to take me to Best Buy to pick up the Wii U, and then coming home, and then, all of that stuff. I had to update the Wii U, and it literally took like 5 hours. Um crazy. Crazy. Even the Switch, it's crazy to think it's been 7 years since the Switch first came out. Jesus Christ, I hate that. I hate that. It feels like I freaking bought the Switch like just yesterday, and it's been 7 years. God dang it. I'm so old. But yeah, yeah, I think this is a pretty this is I would I think I this is how I feel with the list.